today we've got something interesting for you. Now, after 12 years of dedicated service, we got a big shocker as of last week where there was a big announcement of a retirement. So commonly, we watch football games and comment on decisions usually made by male referee. However, it's always a pleasure to see women taking the role on the pitch. Today, we will connect with a woman who has never been discouraged by the gender stereotypes and the cultural barriers facing women in Nigeria. Growing up in the family that provided a strong support system, she felt empowered from a young age to overcome inequalities in pursuit of her dreams. Now the highest ranked FIFA football referee under the Nigerian Football Federation, she's opening doors for women and girls to follow their own sporting aspirations. Since gaining her FIFA accreditation, she has officiated in 2 African Women's Championship tournaments, and in January 2021, alongside with 2 other women, she made history as the first all-female refereeing team for an African men's competition, the CHAN. Now, she's a Benue-born referee under the Benue State Referee Council, who recently called time on officiating as a referee. She is Mimisen Iyorhe Calvin-Onwuka. Thank you so much, Mimisen, for joining us on the show today.
Thank you, Onyinye, for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you, and great to see that after 12 years of dedicated service, at this time you said it's time to call it quits. So the news of your retirement came as a huge shock. Now, considering the number of female referees we've got in Nigeria. Now, what prompted that decision? A lot we want to know today.
There's not enough to tell everyone why I took the decision. It was a personal decision. It was a family decision. It was circumstances decision. It was everything. But I think the decision was the best. And this was the best time I had to take it.
Great one. And everybody do respect your decision, though it came as a big shock, a huge shock to Nigerian football fans and football lovers. But you became the first referee from Nigeria at the FIFA tournament. In 19 years, Nigeria has never had any female referee or even a referee at a FIFA tournament. And you joined the list of the first all-female match officiating team at the Confederation of African Football Senior Men's Tournament. That's the 2020 CHAN. How do you feel about this achievement? First of them all.
I do feel great. I do feel really great that at least it's not Nigeria negative, Nigeria in the bad, Nigeria, you know, all things bad for Nigeria. So I do feel great that someone was able to stand through everything that happens in Nigeria, the lack of support, the lack of funds, the lack of training, and everything that goes wrong with Nigeria to be able to get this kind of achievement. So I just feel great and honored that I was able to do it. The determination I was able to put in finally worked out.
They say in the national anthem, the Nigerian national anthem, that the labors of our heroes past will never be in vain. Mimi, you officiated as assistant referee 1 at the Women's African Cup of Nations final game between South Africa and Morocco. Would you say that was the biggest or the peak of your time officiating the game?
I can say that. I can say that. But every referee's dream is also to be at a FIFA tournament. So putting them vis-a-vis each other, my under-20 tournament and then the Women AFCON, I would say they were great achievements for me on both ends. Being at the Women AFCON finals, I didn't believe it when I got the appointment. And after the game, I still didn't believe it. I kept feeling like, oh, I need to be woken up from this dream. But you can't compare both. They are both standards. They are both achievements on their own. And being at the final is one of the greatest, especially in Africa. And then making it to a FIFA tournament is also another great achievement that every international referee would dream of. So I can't put I can't say this is my greatest, this is my greatest. I just put both of them side by side because prior to last year, I was already at the final of the first Champions League, Women's Champions League CAF. So I've had like, I've climbed and gotten to feats where I didn't imagine in the beginning, despite everything that was happening. So I can't name one. I have them in Chan is also there. So I can't say this is my greatest. All of them hold a very special place in my heart.
I really cannot even tie the lace on your boots right now because you've you've achieved a lot that I am so proud of. No, but do you feel you should have done more in officiating, men or women's game? Do you feel you should have done more?
For me, every stone has been turned except for the Senior World Cup. So I can't wish for more for myself. I would only take this time to hope that somebody achieves more than I've been able to achieve. For me, I'm really content and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have gotten to this height.
And we're also proud of you over here. Now that you have announced your retirement, what would have been? Yes, you mentioned the World Cup, but what should have been? I want to hear it from you. What should have been the biggest stage of officiating for you?
It would have been the Senior World Cup.
Male or female?
Any one of them. If I went to Qatar, I would have retired before the year started.
I'm always happy to see African referees, being listed as officials for any FIFA tournament. It's great to always see that, for them to don the continent colors. But let's stay in Nigeria right now. Do you think female referees in Nigeria gets enough accolades? Before we move to Africa, let's talk about Nigeria. Do you think they get enough accolades?
This is a trick question. It's a trick question. I don't think anything or anyone doing sports in Nigeria gets enough accolades. I don't think so.
Why do you say so?
There's a lot people have to put through or put in to get to a certain stage in life. It doesn't matter the career, but sports specifically, where you know that you're entertaining, you're bringing joy, fun, and all of that. I don't think athletes get enough accolades.
What are those things that really happen or you've been able to put together to say, no, I don't think this is enough. This is the value of what we put in as female officials. What are those things you see, obvious things you see?
There's not enough support. There's not enough support. When I call it support, I mean straight from the family to the federations to all of the agencies who support or sponsor sports. I don't think they put in enough to encourage or to make anyone to put in their best.
You're reading from your profile, Mimisen. I understand that you got support from your own family, and that's why you've been able to get to this stage at which you are. What are those supports that have been given to you that got you to this level before you called it quit? Someone needs to hear this.
Support. Yes, I thrived on support from my family because I was introduced into refereeing by my mom, and then she continued to support me all through, just after secondary school, all through the university, and then up until now. There was hardly any fitness tests without my mom being present or my family members. And then, luckily and fortunately for me, I also married someone who would give in 150% to support my refereeing career. So this has to start from home. That's why I started with family first. I enjoyed it. So I'm proud that, okay, but if someone doesn't get it, then it's going to be a very difficult time for the person. So if you don't have that, you have to put in extra. If you were doing 100, you have to do 180 because the mental stress, the emotional stress, the physical stress, everything is put on you. So the support that I got from home is what made me thrive. And I'm very grateful for it.
We're also grateful to God for giving you a wonderful family that supports you. Halima Mukasanga made history when she officiated at the Men's African Cup of Nations and also at the World Cup in Qatar. We would like to ask you this question, maybe put you on the spot. What makes or who makes the list of your top 5 female referees in Africa?
I can't say it with authority.
You have to say it anyhow.
No, I can't say it with authority. But everything that concerns refereeing has a department, whether at the national level or at the confederation or at FIFA level. So there's a referees committee that decides on everything concerning referees. So I can't say with authority who does that.
Okay, what has been provided for you all on the African scene that supports women officiating the beautiful world of beautiful game of football? What are those things that have been provided that you think should continue so as to push you further, push all those who are still in officiating further?
CAF has done a lot for female referees, especially being the one of the first confederations who started introducing women to men's tournaments, simply because the women's game in Africa has not grown enough for women to have a lot of games to officiate. So CAF has done a lot on that, and I want to commend them and ask that they keep it up. They were also able to introduce VAR trainings for referees, for female referees. So now referees are opportune, especially those of us from countries where VAR is not a thing. They are able to have a grasp of it because that is the standard of officiating now. And if you want to be at that height, you should be able to know or have knowledge about it. So CAF is doing all of that to improve women refereeing. There's a lot that still needs to be done, but we cannot hold back on the very good things that they've done because they've really put in a lot for women referees in Africa.
Great one to hear that from you. But there are a lot of girls or someone watching right now who would love to officiate one time in their career in the world of sport. What do you have to say to them?
Impossible is nothing. It's my slogan. I say it all the time. Impossible is nothing. I didn't see myself getting here, but I did. Not without the hard work and the dedication and the resilience and all the hurdles I had to cross. But have it at the back of your mind that impossible is nothing.
Thank you so much, Mimisen Iyorhe Calvin-Onwuka, for joining us on the show. This referee called it quits on officiating after 12 years of an illustrious career. It's great to see that she was the first referee to ever don the Nigerian colors on a FIFA tournament after 19 years hiatus there. So it's great to see that at this time she is living, officiating with her head held high. Thank you so much, Mimisen, for joining us on the show. And we do wish you all the best going forward in whatever career you choose to take up.
Thank you very much.